Hi, everybody. I'm Timothy Oxman. I'm a founder and web designer at the Our Agency, and I'm about to be on the Online Prosperity Show, and I'm really excited about this. We will be talking about things of my journey, going through the journey I have been through from the destructive lifestyle I used to live until where I am today, moved from Sweden to Spain, running my web design agency online, and all the ups and downs, the changes, transformations, and yeah, running the agency and what's different between a good award-winning website and a crappy one that might look beautiful.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another exciting episode of the Online Prosperity Show. I'm your host, Prosper Taruinga, and today we have somebody who is truly a luminary when it comes to web design. Now, Timothy, how are you doing, my man?
I'm very well. I'm very well. Happy to be here, man.
Well, the pleasure is all mine. I actually think I'm in front of a celebrity right now. So if you see me shaking and wanting you to sign an autograph, just know why, all right? Because with your track record and all the things that you've been doing, winning awards, playing music, it's all going to be exciting. And I'm hoping we're going to be able to uncover all of that today on the show. Now, for those that are watching, today's guest is someone who's literally built his own life, and now he's busy rebuilding websites for others in the process. And I'm thrilled to introduce to you Timothy Axman, a man who actually moved from Sweden to Spain, and he swapped running a music studio for creating award-winning websites. And he actually also in the process managed to turn his life around. And you'll be surprised to hear that Timothy actually started designing websites at age 14, but his decision to actually change every aspect of his life, which happened almost overnight, is what really shaped the person that he is today. So he's now helped coaches, consultants, solopreneurs, and creators, land more leads and clients through his amazing designs. And today we're going to be diving deep into how he is, doing all this, and also his inspiring journey. And we're also going to be looking at his methodologies and, of course, how his services could actually transform your own business so that it's profitable and enjoyable. Anyway, there's a fun fact before we actually jump in, because this is a man of many talents. Timothy has actually been through more transformations than an actual superhero. So let's actually get to unpack that. Now, Timothy, I could go on and on talking about your accolades and everything else that came along with it. And you'll be thinking, wait a minute, why did I even bother coming to the show? Tell us in your own words a little bit about your journey, especially from running a music studio to now creating award-winning websites.
Yeah, first off, man, what an incredible introduction. You're humbling me. But yeah, so it's been an interesting and fun journey I've been on, that's been going on for a few years now. I lived a very destructive lifestyle from an early age. I came into bad influences, bad surroundings when I was very young. Lived that lifestyle for many years. All different aspects of life, they were destructive, with the people I had around, the habits I had. But I was always a creative guy. I love to create, especially music, as you mentioned. I created my first websites when I was 14. That was music related because I was an artist. So I created a website for me. I created websites for my friends who were making music, the groups that we had, and then went on to run a music studio. Still living a very destructive lifestyle, surrounded by people that was not very healthy for me. And after many years of living like this, I woke up one day. I had started to take a little bit of distance from a few people, and then one morning I woke up with such clarity, and I'm very grateful that it came. I don't know exactly from where, but I realized that I needed to change my life. I needed to start taking care of myself and my health. I needed to create something positive, something good, where I could support myself and my family, and where I could leave some type of positive impact in the world, which led me to straight away cut out a lot of people that I had in my life. I cut out a lot of bad and toxic habits that I had, and started to listen to entrepreneurs, podcasts, read books, buy online courses, starting to work out, eat healthy, meditate, like all of these different things, more or less overnight, as you said. Funny enough, it was around New Year's that didn't have anything to do with it. But yeah, then I quickly got into the hustle culture, which I realized after a while it's not very sustainable to just switch from the life I was living onto getting up at 5 a.m. from being in the studio until 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 in the morning, and then going to sleep, and then start to go up at 5, working out, meditating, have a list of 20 things to do before 7 a.m., which wasn't really sustainable for me. But then I slowly started to find my way more and more, and realized that web design is the way for me to go. And I realized that a lot of websites today are unfortunately not very well. They're not very good. They can, a lot of them look pretty, they look nice, they look beautiful, but they don't really do anything for the business, the company, the coach, or whatever. So I started to learn a lot more about sales psychology, cognitive biases, copywriting, brand stories, stuff like this that goes into creating good website that actually can get you some results with it, and that actually speak to the visitor and guide them on the journey of the website. Uh, and then yeah, then I went to Spain. I set a goal when I changed my life to move to Spain permanently before I was 30. And then I went here when I was 26 to, not in Valencia where I live now, but Torrevieja, a smaller place. I went there when I was 26 for a few, I was thinking 2, 3 months, a workation. I was working online already with the web design agency, but then didn't feel like going back to Sweden. So I just stayed, and I lived there for a year and a half, and I didn't really like it. I really tried to network, connect with people, build a circle and a community, but I didn't really find any like-minded people there. So then I was thinking about moving to Alicante. A friend suggested Valencia, and I was like, hey, let's go. And I just packed my stuff and I went there. And that's one of the best decisions I ever made, because it was so easy to start building a community here, building a new circle of like-minded people. I have amazing people around me that I'm surrounded by here. We have a community as well. I'm part of a team called Valencia Entrepreneurs, where we have a community with our over 3,500 people. They were doing some cool stuff and events and stuff like that. And yeah, just keep working with my web design agency as well, scaling that up, and trying to help as many mostly coaches. I work mostly with coaches, trying to help them as much as possible with their online presence, not just their website, but mainly that, but their full on online presence as well.
Congratulations, man. I mean, obviously it's something to come from another country, going to set up something and still be successful at it, because not a lot of people would have left, no matter how bad or dire the situation is. So thank you so much for taking us through that journey so that we can get an understanding of, how it all started. Now, you introduced us to a 14-year-old that lived a destructive lifestyle. I thought Sweden was the tall man, blonde women, blue eyes, everybody's in a sauna and they're listening to Swedish House Mafia and Avicii, and you're designing world-changing apps like Spotify.
Yeah, I mean, there's always different sides of the coin, right? So when I grew up, when I was younger, Sweden was a pretty decent country. It was a good country. It's a good place to grow up in. But there's also, like I said, the other side of the coin. I was on the other side of that coin with that I was surrounded by criminal drug addicts from an early age, and went a bad route in life because of that. And it wasn't Sweden wasn't as bad when I was a kid. It was still a good country, like I said, but I had a really bad influences around me. And now Sweden have really turned to a worse country. It used to be one of the safest country in the world. Today is considered the most dangerous country in Europe, because we got the most gun violence, the most bombings and stuff like that. And it's really become a land of the criminals now, unfortunately. I'm not there anymore, and I've cut all those type of people out of my life. But it's not the same country. And at the same time, it's still a good country in many ways. You can still do a lot of good things if you in the right environment with the right people, stuff like that. For me, I just wasn't, even though it was still better times back then. But yeah, I just went on the wrong side of the coin, so to say.
Absolutely. I mean, maybe that's where the Swedish house mafia got their name, because now they've become the actual mafia of Sweden. But with that around you, would that have been emanating from family, or is it just friends that you were hanging out with? And didn't you have the love and protection of a family that would have stopped you from jumping into things like that?
It was a little bit of both. I had a lot of bad friends surrounding me. I had my friends that wasn't my age, and then we mostly hang out with a lot of people that were older, and they were obviously worse already as well. And I had my mom was always really great. She always did everything for me and my sister, trying to be the best mom she possibly could and be there to support us. My mom and dad divorced when I was young, and my dad was kind of the opposite, which I don't know how they got together in the first place, but there was a lot of weekly parties at my dad's place, a lot of sketchy people there as well. From I was 12, 13, I started to party with my dad and his friends, which also escalated more and more. Me and my friends were hanging out there, and my dad kind of supported the lifestyle we were having with the partying, drugs, and crime and stuff like that. Um, so he's not a bad person. He's a good person. He's also a bit lost, but he also had his issues. So that didn't influence my life in a very good way either. So that made a lot of things a lot worse for many years. And then he also lives here in Spain, actually. He moved when I was 17, 18, something like that. So then I lived in his apartment still, and then the apartment just turned into a big trap house, so to say. I just had all my friends there every day, and yeah, not a very good environment either. But yeah, so I think that's both partly the friends, the people I was surrounded with from an early age, and then the influences from my dad and his friends was just a bad combination, and then it kept on escalating more and more throughout the years.
See, in life, we learn from either our parents or those that are around us, and that then influences the sort of people that we then become. And in this instance, obviously, even though you lived that sort of lifestyle, but now you have lived experience and evidence of what not to be then.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. When I started to clear up and get that clarity I mentioned, then I really realized what I don't want in my life and who I don't want to be. Because I lost myself in such an early age. I realized all the things that I was doing, the lifestyle I had. Somewhere I knew it wasn't me. I wasn't in the right place. That wasn't the person I was. I didn't want to be there. And then I hit my rock bottom when I was around 20, which was not the turning point. Unfortunately, it still kept escalating. But I hit my rock bottom, and at some point realized that that's not me. I've lost myself. I lost my ways, the person I am so much. But like I said, it kept going for a few years. And then I woke up after I started to cut out a few people. I started to sober up a bit. I started to find back to myself a little bit, and then it just hit me, all of it, like, shit, I lost myself so much for so many years from I was so young, and like, that's not me, and I need to do better. I need to be better, and I need to do something positive for myself, my family, in the world. And yeah, that was the turning point. And that's when I started to, like I said, read books, listen to entrepreneurs podcasts, take courses, buy coaching, invest in myself, my health, my mind. And yeah, that's where the real journey started.
Absolutely. And congratulations on having that realization, because some people would have just continued and they wouldn't have actually noticed, because fish do not see the water that they swim in, and neither can we see the air that we breathe. So most people would just think, since that's the life my dad is living, it must be the way it is. So it would have been difficult for you to then start, peeling back all those learnings and habits, and really going in to start creating new and healthy habits and things of that nature. How did this impact, first of all, the relationships around you? I would want to go first with the one that you had with your dad.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it impacted a lot of things. With my dad, for example, he like I've forgiven him today. We've had a lot of fights, both physical and verbal, and we've been up and down when I was younger, if we were getting along or not. And I I was a while after he moved, I was so pissed at him, and then I realized like I'm the only one hurting. Like so, I forgave him for that. We're friends today. I go and visit him, and I got a little brother as well. That's 7. He just turned 7, half brother. So I go and visit them every now and then. Like we get along. We don't see eye to eye on everything. Like I don't really agree with some things, and the thing is he don't really understand me, where I come from, like my mindset, my values, my principles, because I didn't learn any of them that I have today from him. So that's where we clash a little bit, but we still get along, because like it takes a lot. I used to be very short fused. Today you can't piss me off. Like I'm very calm. You can't mess with my emotions or whatever. So yeah, I just try to stay calm, especially for my little brother. I like to be there and be a role model for him. Um, but yeah, I think he don't really understand the things I'm telling him. He's been stuck in the same thing his whole life. He's getting old, so we don't really share the same values, principles, point of views in life and the world, which makes it a little bit harder sometimes. But yeah, besides that, like my biggest struggles with this whole journey have definitely been, as you mentioned, the habits, like changing out the habits, changing out the bad ones for the good ones, building new healthy habits. Because throughout my whole life, ever since I was a kid, I've never had proper routines and habits, and not even when I was a kid and went to school like that and stuff like that. Um, so that was definitely one of the hardest things. Like to these days I'm still struggling with some things. Like to be fair, like it's always a journey and a process, so I'm not perfect today either, but aware. I'm always working on myself. I'm always trying to be better. I'm always trying to improve my habits, be healthier, more mindful, and more efficient, stuff like that. When it comes to my other relationships, I've cut ties with more or less everybody that I used to know before. I have a couple of people left. One that I speak with every now and then. The other ones I don't really talk to that much. Like we're still connected and talk maybe once, twice a year, something like that. Um, Besides that, I've completely built a new circle and community with the type of people I want to surround myself with, other like-minded people, entrepreneurs, business owners, people that care about their health and their well-being and want to grow as a person, become a better person, leave an impact in the world, stuff like that. Um, I had some people. I still had some people around me when I was younger that was still good people, just not the best like habits and stuff like that. Uh, I'm not really in contact with them. Uh, if I go to Sweden, I might meet up with them, but I'm not there very often. But yeah, I had definitely a few good relationships as well that have gone to that I'm not in contact anymore, or that doubted what I was doing, and especially in the beginning when I just started to change myself in my life. And obviously, like I talked about it with my friends and stuff like that, and there was a lot of people doubting me and trying to talk me out of it and talk me down, and like, no, that's hard, you shouldn't do that, or because of this and that. And um, but yeah, when I kept on going, and obviously things were happening, some people changed their mind a bit, of course, but yeah, like I said, I'm not in contact with a lot of them at all anymore.
Good on
It's
you,
more just
man.
the new community. Yeah.
Good on you, man, for choosing yourself, because not a lot of us are able to do that, just predicated on the fact that we don't want to hurt the feelings of those that are around us, and things of that nature. And speaking of those that are around us, you did mention you now want to become a role model to your younger brother, how important is having a role model for somebody when they're in their formidable years? You know, like when you were 14, the people that were around you were obviously doing the bad things, and that's the person that you ended up becoming.
Yeah, and I think it's really, really important, for sure. You need to have a good role model to look up to get those values and principles in life and learn right from wrong. It's because yeah, if you don't have that, like I was on such a bad path for so many years because I didn't have that guidance. If I knew everything I knew today, my life would look so, like if I knew that 10 or 15 years ago, my life would look so different. Um, and I think it's very, especially in today's time and era, because we have so many things that are trying to get our attention, and uh, like social media, even small kids that can barely speak, they're sitting and scrolling on phones and getting like their brain gets so much toxic things from social media and from screens and whatever. And I think it's horrible. I'm very worried about the future generations, and for obviously I can, in general, I'm worried about the future generation, but I can only speak for myself. Like I have my little brother who's 7. I have my nephew, who's my sister's son, who's 3. And obviously I think about them a lot. I want to be a role model. I'm especially worried for my little brother, and want to be there as much as possible to show him, because he don't have very good surroundings either. So I want to be able to show him, like give him those principles and values and show him like that's not a good way to live. Like I don't want to tell him what to do, but be a role model showing like what's good for you. Like, yeah, you should take care of yourself. You should limit screen time. Like you should have good principles in life and create a life for yourself that you enjoy, where you are good to other people and you control yourself, your take care of your mind, stuff like that. And just share the knowledge that I've learned as well for the last few years, both about myself, health, and business, whatever, the world.
Mm.
Uh,
No, I mean, obviously, your story is incredibly powerful. You know, like where you came from and who you are, chalk and cheese. And you literally had to go on a journey. I mean, especially crossing borders, even though in Europe it's just maybe the same passport, you know, but that's a long way to travel, especially you know, knowing what you were coming away from. Now, how do you use this to inspire others, especially those who actually feel stuck in their own lives?
yeah, when I started this journey and I started to create content online, as well for my business, obviously mostly, and I was very afraid to share my own story, because I didn't want to go into details about what I've been through, what I've done, stuff like that, because I thought it would scare people away. I thought they will look at me differently and stuff like that, even though we all have our journey. But I was afraid of open up completely. Like, yeah, sometimes I shared a little bit of very vague things. And then it was, I met a guy at one of the networking events that we host as the Valencia Entrepreneurs. I met a guy there that I instantly hit it off with. Really cool guy, Peter. And I we just connected, and I just started to share my story with him at the event. And he was like, "Shit!" He was like, you have such a powerful story." And I do documentaries about entrepreneurs and sharing their stories and stuff like that. Would you be down to do an interview or like an episode of telling your story? And I was like a little bit hesitant, like I don't know how much I want to share like publicly about what I've been through. And then he opened my eyes and realized like how powerful it is, and how powerful story I have as well. And when I started to change my life, one of my goals and missions as well that I got to me was that I want to inspire people. I want to help other people that are maybe in the same path I was in, or people that are maybe coming on the way in there, especially like the kids and the youth in Sweden today. As I mentioned, Sweden have had a really bad turn when it comes to criminality, abuse, stuff like this, and it's really started out in really, really early ages. So I want to be able to inspire, especially those kids, like go and have speeches on schools or whatever and stuff like that. And I realized to be able to inspire people, uh, and share like that there's other options, and to inspire them to do good for themselves and for the world, I need to share my story. I need to tell people what I've been through, and it's possible to change. Like, it's not set in stone. You are the writer of your own story. You can always change. You can always do better. You can always change your environment, surroundings, uh, and yeah, even though some people are handed a worse hand in life, you can always take that and play it, and change it, and go for the next round. And yeah, there is always a new day tomorrow, and our life is decided by the daily choices we make. If you keep making the same daily choices, it will be the same. But if you change just one habit the next day and keep doing that, something will change in the long term. And life is just reacting to our actions. If you take the right actions that you decide, that you choose, then you can change everything in your life.
Absolutely. You see, the whole thing about this is we live in a world where we're here to live, to learn, and to contribute. So in order for us to live the best life, we need to learn how to do that, which is what you did, because the things that you had learned prior were not helpful. Then you had to learn the really good habits that are needed in order for one to have a well-lived life. And once you've learned all of that, what are you supposed to do with all that information? Because if you keep it to yourself, then what's the point? You actually have to send the elevator down and help others too, so they can be, do, and have a happier existence. And this is exactly what it is that you're doing. But I feel like you're doing it in a way that you may not realize, because now you are actually impacting and influencing people that also have access to other people that you don't have access to. These are coaches and solopreneurs, because coaches are there to help other people live a well-lived life. And now that you know all of these things, you are just putting that little bit into their website, and then that leverage is spreading all across the world to their clients. Is that a connection that you had done about the work that you're doing, or are we just doing that now?
Yeah, no, it is actually, like I mentioned earlier. I want to, when I changed, I realized I want to create a positive impact in the world. And when I started doing websites, yeah, I did for a lot of different niches, but now I work mostly with coaches. I work with a lot of other people as well, but coaches are my main one. And there's different reasons for it. It's because I really enjoy working with coaches in both directions. Uh, and they were always the one that got most attracted to me as well, and like reached out the most. But with that, we wanted to create that impact. I know just building a website in itself, like if you just build a regular website for a regular business or whatever, like you're not creating a much of a good impact in the world if it's not a company that do something really well and you actually get some result with it. So that's the purpose of the coaches, because they're doing so much great things in the world. I work with mental health coaches, grief coaches, business coaches, all types of different coaches, and they're creating a positive impact in the world. So when I help them create a bigger impact, then I get some of that second-hand impact.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations. I mean, obviously, your reach is now getting wider, but what is it about these websites that sets them apart?
My websites from other websites, you mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean there are a lot of good websites, but in general, most of them are not very well, because they don't really they look beautiful. Like a lot of the websites look good, but when you come in on most websites, they can be a bit confusing because they don't really get the message clear. They don't have the copywriting is not good. They don't know how to speak to their audience, especially on the hero, which is the first thing you see on a website. Should be crystal clear what you're doing, and a lot of people there, they just have either something really confusing, that you don't really understand what they're doing, or they just have like keywords or welcome to this company and some keywords like our like innovation, this and that, and like you have no idea what they're actually doing, and there's no call to action, or there's a call to action where they're trying to be cute or clever, so you don't really know what happens when you click the button either. And then it goes down to the rest of the website, as well. As I mentioned, like the copywriting needs to be a clear message to the right person. It needs to be very clear who you're helping, what the benefits and outcomes are, what are the pain points that the target audience has, what do they need to do to buy, how do you make their life better, and you need to make this very clear in a layout that works, that's scannable, and not have too much text. And a lot of people talk too much about themselves. They have very long paragraphs. Nobody got the time to read that. And then you need to have a proper lead magnet as well, like a valuable resource. Uh, so a lot of people have you subscribe to my newsletter. If people are not a diehard fan, nobody will subscribe to a newsletter. And you need to give something of value. And there's a lot of different components and stuff that goes into a good website that you need to cover. And a lot of different components. I talk about them on my socials all the time, every day, more or less. Still, I see a lot of bad websites. Um, but yeah, no, I enjoy the strategies behind it, and helping the coaches, because coaches are amazing in so many ways. But if you don't know about, yeah, copywriting, sales, psychology, and cognitive biases, and actual websites and online marketing and stuff like that, you're not going to make a great website and online presence if you're not really know about these things. And that's not weird. Like, you can't be an expert in everything. So that's when you have to get an expert in that particular thing, so you can do what you do the best more.
Mm. What about those coaches that I also come across them where they tell you, "Oh, I've got so many XY followers on social media. I don't think I even need a website," or I've got a coach on a platform which they cannot even pronounce, and some of my stuff is on YouTube and things of that nature. What would you say to somebody like that?
I mean, first of all, like, followers, I see a lot of people that have a lot of followers. That's not like, followers and likes don't pay the bills. You need to be able to convert those followers. That's the first thing. You need to convert them either through a sales funnel, or really good content, and stuff like that. So yeah, you need to be able to convert. There's coaches that are really successful that have 100, 200 followers that I know makes money, and then there are people with 10K followers or 50K followers that don't really know how to convert their followers and don't make money from it. So it's all about how you leverage it. No matter what, you need to have the right followers as well. But your website is part of your full online presence. So it's also, when it's done right, it becomes a sales machine. So it's part of your whole funnel, your online presence, and it builds a lot more credibility, authority in your industry. Like, we live in an online world. Everybody's online. If you want to buy something from somebody, or you want to buy a service or do business with somebody, the first thing you do is Google them, and you check their website. And if they have a really crappy website, a lot of people won't buy from you, or move forward. Because if you're successful, and especially if you portray a picture of you being successful, but you look very bad online, which shows that you don't really have the money to invest in your actual business. But as I said, it works as a sales funnel. It works to drag traffic, and it works as more than just showcasing, more than just an online billboard, but actually a machine that helps you get leads, book calls, and get traffic to your different platforms. And you always want somewhere to lead people as well. And like I said, when it's done the right way, and you have the whole online presence working as a machinery together, that's where the magic happens. Like, you can't just have one thing; you need to have the whole thing work together.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that just sounds like so much for people to do maybe on their own. I've just seen that you're actually building a program to teach people how to create their own websites, or that online presence that you're talking about. What do you hope people will actually take away from this program itself?
The thing is, there's a lot of different types of coaches. A lot of coaches with, obviously, coaches is still the main focus here, but this program and course will be for everybody. But there are coaches that do a great job, but they're on so many different levels. So a lot of coaches can't afford the proper service of a good website and online presence and stuff like that. So this would be more low ticket, where I can help more people at the same time. I don't have to deliver, so it doesn't take as much time, but I can still give them all the same value to the people that like to do things by themselves, because a lot of coaches enjoy doing it themselves as well, but they don't have the right guidance. So then I can teach so many more people the skills that they will have for a lifetime, where they can keep on leverage it forever, and keep doing great in the world. So I'm
Absolutely.
hoping to be able to, yeah, impact more coaches and more people, and get to those that can't really afford, that they're maybe not on that level yet, that they can't afford those type of services for their online presence, their messaging, their marketing, their website. Because I will cover the main thing of the program is obviously build your own website, but there's so much more things covered in the program. It's not completely launched yet, but there's so much going into your website and your online presence that people don't really know. So that's what I'm going to teach there as well, like building together your offers, putting your messages right, your messaging, your online presence and stuff like that, because all of that goes into it as well. And it's so important, and a lot of people miss those details.
Absolutely. And what would be the best way that people can get a hold of you so that they can start experiencing this magic?
Well, I'm mostly active on LinkedIn, Timothy Axman, with the A with a dot on top. I have the green background on my profile image. That's how you find me easy. Otherwise, the ouragency.com. We're building the website right now, but there's still some things you can see there. Instagram, Timothy Axman is one word. Or email me, timothy@ouragency.com.
Absolutely. I'll make sure that all those links are in the show notes so that people can actually get started on their journey to creating websites that truly convert and actually help them reach the audiences that they want to reach. Now, Timothy, when we started, you introduced us to a 14-year-old boy that had a destructive lifestyle and just wouldn't know what they were going to do or end up as. And now you're showcasing to us a person that's fully grown up, fully changed, fully ready for anything else in the world, and also has enough left over to help others be, do, and have a business that's profitable and enjoyable, and also a life that's of a happier existence. First of all, congratulations. That is
Thanks a
a
lot.
remarkable journey.
Yeah. I feel very grateful and very, very blessed for the way I was able to turn my life around, and for being able to live here in Spain, being surrounded with all these amazing people, and having the type of life quality I have here. So I'm
Absolutely.
very, very, very blessed.
So this is a question to you. If you could maybe go back to that 14-year-old Timothy who was doing all those things, and maybe you walked on the street and then you came across that little boy, what sort of advice would you give him, knowing what you now know about life? Or what would you actually tell him on the day that you crossed paths with him?
I mean, that 14-year old, he was very stubborn, so it would probably be hard to get to him. But
You would
but
try at least, right? You would try.
yeah, for sure, for sure. Uh, the thing is, like, what I know today is that you can design your life. You can create the life that you want to live. You can create a life that you love. And to do that, the easiest way is to sit down and write everything you want in life. Exactly what do you want your life to look like? How do you want to live it? How is your health? What do you own? Like, what's your relationships like? What do you do for a living? Like, where do you want to live? All the things that you want in your life, write it down, see it in front of you, and then backtrack it. Like, break those goals into smaller actionable steps. Like, okay, I want to be healthy, I want to be fit. Cool, what do I need to do? I need to work out. Awesome. How many times a day at the gym? What days? How do I work? Like, yeah, I know that part. And then, like, okay, I want to work with this. I want to have a social media agency or whatever. Okay, cool, how do I get started? Okay, I need to learn these things about that, so maybe I will invest in this course, or I will watch these YouTube videos about that, and then I will start learning to reach out to people, and backtrack the goals that you want to do, and yeah, divide them into very, very, very small actionable steps, like daily actionable steps, and be consistent with it. Uh, whatever it is you want to do, you can do it. Like, it's it's very common to have a fixed mindset where you think like, oh shit, no, those people can do that, or he can achieve that. But all of us is just people. If that person can achieve it, so can you. Like you just need to learn how to do it. So you just need to get the knowledge and backtrack the small actionable steps. Okay, I want to lose some weight. Cool. I need to go walk more every day. Whatever it is, I want to move to Spain, for example, like me. Like, yeah, then I need to be able to work online. So I need to make my agency so I work online. I need to do my content online and reach out to people online, and stuff like that. Like, no, use your imagination. Like, whatever you want to achieve, whatever you want your life to look like, you can make it happen. You just need to be consistent. And if you don't do it today, time will still pass, life will still pass. So in 5 years, you could either have taken action or you didn't. The 5 years will still pass, and then the pain of discipline is not as hard. It might seem hard today, but it's not as hard as the pain of regret. The regret weighs so much more. So if you let those 5 years pass and you didn't do anything, you will regret it, and it will weigh a lot more than the actual discipline of doing it daily.
Mm, those are some deep words, my man. So from what you're saying, I'm hearing like a GPS, you don't put the address of where you are, you put the address of where you want to go. And when you have established that address, it will reverse engineer to where you are, and then just make sure you work vicariously to get to that actual particular destination. So, wow, that
Exactly.
is, that
Exactly.
is, that is
Break it down
amazing.
to small actionable steps. Yeah, small action. Set the goal as big as whatever, how big it might be. Set the goal and then backtrack it. Break it down into small actionable steps, as small as possible. You want to take baby steps. Like, big changes are hard. I know, I've been through them. So it's very hard. The bigger, if you try to do everything at once, if you try to change everything in one night, it's hard. It's not going to work. You're going to crash. And so you want to break it down into small baby steps, actionable steps that you do daily, and then you add to it, and then you add more and more the more routines and habits you get in toward working towards those goals. And whatever goal you have, it's just a matter of daily actionable habits. Like, even if it's a money related, relationships related, or health related, like, it's all about those daily actions, the daily habits that you have.
Absolutely. Well, I can't thank you enough for the time that we spent on the call today. But I gotta ask you, man, what's next? I mean, we saw the 14-year-old boy who was in the Swedish house mafia. Now you are, in Spain, doing a bit of salsa dancing there, and whisking websites and things of that nature. What's next? What can we expect from Timothy?
Yeah, right now I'm working on scaling my agency. I'm actually building my own platform, all-in-one platform for people. It will go hand in hand with my program, so people can build their own websites very easy with drag and drop website builder, which I also will create templates for to create it even quicker and easier. There will also be email marketing, uh, e-commerce, CRMs, calendar and bookings, digital products, physical memberships, courses, stuff like that. So everything is collected in one platform. And on top of that, like, the main goal with everything that I do is actually to move my mom and my sister and my nephew from Sweden here to Spain. Um, so that's the next big thing, I would say. Uh, so I want to get a big chunk of land outside of Valencia, big house, land where I can grow all my own food. Have my sister, my nephew, my mom come over and live here in Spain. I want to have them close. Those are the most important people to me. I don't want to have them in Sweden, and they don't really want to be there either. But yeah, that's the next big thing, I would say. After that, we'll see.
Absolutely. And as you have eloquently said, those big things need small steps to actually get started. So
Exactly.
do the websites and build from there, and hopefully you and your family will be reunited once again. Now, Timothy, I can't thank you enough for the time that we spent on the call today. I mean, obviously your life story and your experience have so much value that if somebody's just listening right now and they're going through a hard time, they definitely will be able to learn a thing or two from what you have experienced. And so thank you so much for not only sharing this journey with us, but to actually go through that journey. Because what I realized from what you have been saying is, no matter what you're going through, no matter who you are becoming, you need to be paying attention to that, because one day you'd have a good story to tell on the Online Prosperity Show.
Yeah, for sure. And first of all, the pleasure has been completely mine. It's been amazing to be here. Um, but yeah, whatever you want to do, you can do it. And yeah, I'm one thing as well. Like you said, if somebody's watching this and they feel like they're struggling, they're in a bad place in life, they're in a situation that they feel are shitty, that might be hard to get out of, or whatever, reach out to me. On whatever social media platform, my email, whatever, reach out to me if you need some help or support. Like I said, one of my big things and missions that I got, one of the visions I got, is I really want to be able to help people, inspire people to get on the right path and create a life that they love as well. So if you're struggling in some way, reach out to me, and yeah, I'll see what I can do to help.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for that generosity. And for those that are watching, you have noticed that Timothy's story is a reminder that no matter where you start, you actually have the power to transform your life and your business. And as Timothy rooted himself from Sweden to Spain, you are not a tree, all right? You're not stuck where you are. You literally can move and go to a place where things may actually be a whole lot better for yourself. And in the process, while you're there, you send the elevator down, like what Timothy is now doing, helping others. And eventually he's also going to be able to help his family, move from the place that he no longer wishes to go back to. So I know we've just scratched the surface, of his journey and all the incredible work that he is doing. But if, first of all, you're in business and you're a coach or consultant and you're looking to get more leads and clients through your website, just make sure you get in contact with Timmy. He's an award-winning website designer, and he knows a thing or two about actually creating for and relating to your audience. And if you actually enjoyed this episode, hey, don't forget to maybe rewatch this, because I know we've gone for quite a while now, over 45 minutes and counting. And if it's not necessarily for you, why don't you share this video with somebody who's going through a hard time? And as Timothy has promised, he will be able to be in touch with them and maybe put them on the straight and narrow. And I viscerally believe that this is a powerful story that's worth hearing again. If you can actually change your life, change the life and the course of how your life can become, it's worth taking note, and it's worth actually taking the action to be, do, and have a happier existence. Now, stay tuned for more inspiring stories like this on the Online Prosperity Show. And we always have guests that will actually help you take your business and life to the next level. Until next time, bye for now.